Welcome to Recruitment Roulette. Hiring a new language teacher can often feel like a bit of a gamble. We can get blindsided and just focus on resumes and interviews, when in reality, we should be spending more time on another key factor. Today, we're rolling the ball to uncover another key factor in successful ELT recruitment. It's not just about landing on experience and qualifications. The other big win is culture fit. You can train and support new staff, but without a culture fit, you're gambling with the success of your school. Let's look at 10 steps that will make every hire a jackpot. Hi, I'm Damien Herlihy, and I'm a vlogger at Pavilion ELT. This is season 5, and this season I'm focusing on Pavilion's ETpedia series. This series covers a variety of topics over a range of teaching contexts. Each book follows a unique format of lists: top 10 tips, ideas, questions, activities, and resources. For this episode, I read ETpedia Management, and I'm focusing on a successful recruitment strategy for an ELT school. As the old saying goes, a school is only as good as its teachers, so it's important to get your hires right. On to tip 1. Before you even start advertising, make sure you have a crystal clear idea of the position and the kind of teacher you want. In this first step, you want to consider the ethos and vision of the school. At my school, we have a strong focus on play to learn and visible learning. And a lot of our students, or our student cohort, is in that sort of younger age range between 4 and 8 years old. So when we're looking for a teacher, we need someone who is able to play with children, tell stories to children, be comfortable with dancing and using puppets, for example. So whenever I'm looking for a candidate, they need to be able to tick those boxes. Once you have your job description set, you can then move on to advertising. As this is first contact with a potential recruit, it's important to set the standards straight away. As we mentioned before, you really want the values of the school to be embedded in the advertising. What I like to do when I advertise is to make it clear that the position is a serious teacher job, that it's not just for someone who wants to travel, it's someone who wants to develop professionally. So this sort of, in my case, weeds out potential applicants who see it as a holiday position and might not take it seriously. Also, it's important to include the benefits of working for you, from salary to professional development and all the other sort of remuneration type things such as sick pay and holidays. Make sure you've decided on your recruitment team at the start of the process. It's better to have 2 people, or at least 2 people, involved in the process rather than 1. Also, you want that sort of consistency or coherence through the whole process, making sure that the advertising and the job description and the interview all link up together and reinforce the same message. Before the interview, make sure you decide on a clear structure for this interview process. Decide on things such as, will you include a task? How will you rank the potential candidates? And also, will other staff at the school be involved in the process, such as giving a tour of the school? In the case of my college, our interview process goes through a few stages. We have primarily interview with me, and then we have a second interview with the top candidates, which then includes the admin manager. Also, we have a task where they complete a lesson plan. And finally, I also like to link up any potential candidates with our current teaching staff so they can get as much information as possible about the school. Also, beforehand, decide on a set of questions. The type of questions you want to be asking are open questions with always an element that links to their experience, where they can give real examples of how they teach in the classroom. Also, don't try to trick the interviewee. That's not really a good practice. And don't be afraid to deviate from the set questions you might have for an interview, because often you can go down interesting paths as the interview proceeds. What I found really useful from this book was in the appendix of ETpedia Management, they have a list of questions for the interview. I found some quite good ones to sort of refresh the questions I'd been previously using. A task is another important way to find out whether the teacher is a fit to your school. At my school, I like to use a lesson plan type task, and I get the teacher to complete that before the interview. This sort of serves two purposes. If someone completes the lesson plan, I definitely know that they're interested in the job and really want to work at the school. And secondly, it just allows me to ask a few more questions connected to their teaching style based on the lesson plan they provided. Recruitment is a time-consuming process, so it's important to have a timeline for how long all these steps will take, from advertising to getting the person in the classroom. Also, it's advisable to make the hire quickly if you find the right person, while on the other hand, don't be afraid to go back to the interview process again if you still haven't got a suitable candidate for the school. Establish your criteria for the selection, weighing up all the factors in a balanced and fair way. Make sure everyone who is involved in the process has input in the final decision. Make sure you have evidence to back up your decision based on the advertisement and the criteria you set out in advance. But also sometimes listen to that gut feeling when you feel like a candidate is wrong or right. Once you think you have the right candidate, offer the position in writing. Detail things such as salary, benefits, start date, and then also set a deadline for that candidate to either accept or not accept the position. Don't tell the other pool of applicants until the decision is finalized. For temporary or summer recruitment, you might need to drop some steps out of the process. Look at such things where you might have 2 interviews and reduce it to 1. Or maybe you could drop out the task if that's not appropriate for this role. So that's a sample from the book ETpedia Management. If you want a copy of this book with a further 490 ideas and activities in the area of ELT management, then have a look at the link in the description. Now I'd love to hear from you. At your school, how do you make sure there is a culture fit between the teachers and the school? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to this channel for future videos on teaching ideas and activities. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.